ever leave a date or hang up the phone with him and you don't just feel tired, but you feel empty, like your battery has been siphoned? Well, ladies, I'm here to tell you a harsh truth. Some men are inspired by feminine energy, but others are actually sustained by it. They will use your light to fuel their own lack of ambition or stability. And the difference doesn't just show up in vibes, it shows up in very practical ways. Ways like provision, protection, and how safe your nervous system feels when he walks into the room. Welcome back, beautiful souls. I'm Amanda, and on this channel, we talk about how to manifest what you want in life without all the extra stress, chaos, and drama that most people are accustomed to. Lately, we've been talking a lot about feminine energy. We've been talking about regulating your nervous system. We talked a lot about how I manifested my husband, relationship dynamics, a lot of really good juicy things. So if that's something that you're interested in, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss a single video that we have coming out on this channel. And if you want to go a step deeper, then I also invite you to download our free Enhance Your Feminine Energy guide. I find that most women have no idea what feminine energy actually is or how to use it in different areas of their lives, and this free guide will show you how to use it in all these different areas and enhance it over the course of the next 7 days. So your relationships improve, you can make more money, and life in general just gets juicier. So you can download it here, or you can find it in the description below. You'll also find lots of other resources in the description. If I come up with any while as I'm showing and sharing in this video, I'll let you know which resources make the most sense for those of you who want to dive in deeper. So let's get into it. We first need to understand the biology. So your feminine energy is receptive. It is a magnetic force. It's why women are able to attract and draw things to them, where men oftentimes find themselves having to work harder. It's a way of putting it. But that feminine energy is also a resource, and most women do not know this. If they did know this, they would be a lot more careful about who they date, who they sleep with, who they spend their time with, who they choose to marry, who they go into business with. They would be a lot more protective of this feminine energy. Now, when a man is in his healthy masculine, he's a producer, he's a provider, he provides protection, he generates safety, resources, and structure. But when a man is wounded, he's a consumer. He needs your validation, he needs your planning skills, and your emotional labor just to function. And if you stay with a consumer, you, my dear, will age faster, you will feel anxious, and your radiance will dim. So let's look at exactly how this shows up in everyday life situations. So sign number 1 is potential versus provision. Sign number 1 is the most dangerous trap, especially for spiritual women, empathic women, women reflectors in human design, hi, hello, me, because you tend to see the potential in everybody. You tend to see the best in people. And what happens is when you take that into relationships and you fall for his potential instead of his provision, that can cause a lot of problems for a woman. Because a man who drains your energy talks endlessly about what he will do. His plans live in the future. But you may notice that he literally never does anything today to move toward that future. So it starts like, I'm going to start that business. I'm going to take you on that trip. I'm going to X, Y, and Z. And what happens? You fuel that dream. You encourage him, you believe in him, you pour your energy into his potential. Meanwhile, he does absolutely nothing with it. Now, here's the nourish reality. A man who nourishes you is already providing. Maybe not extravagantly, but he is doing it consistently. He pays his bills, he handles his responsibilities. He doesn't need your emotional cheerleading just to get out of bed. And then you relax because your survival isn't tied to his someday. And if you're with a masculine man, and maybe, again, you're one of the empathic ones who sees everybody's potential, and maybe you overstep a boundary, you overstep one of his boundaries and you start trying to coach him because that's what you had to do in all your previous relationships, a masculine man's going to stop you in your tracks and be like, I don't need it. So that's another way that it shows up. Sign number 2 is abdication versus leadership. So this is the whatever you want trap. Sign number 2 is very subtle and it doesn't seem like a big deal, but it is exhausting to a woman. Does he ask you, what do you want to do? for every single decision. At first, this feels like he's being nice and he's being considerate. But over time, you start to realize that you are the project manager of the relationship. You are choosing the restaurant, planning the dates, managing the schedule. That is masculine energy. You are essentially carrying the mental load of the relationship. Now, what's interesting is a lot of women, when they're in the dating stages, they will make a mistake. And by the way, I cover this in the Feminine Magnetism Mastery Program, which you can find below. There's 5 mistakes that women make in the beginning stages of dating that set them up for disaster down the road. And one of those mistakes is because you feel like you're being nice as a woman, that you start planning and initiating and doing everything because you're being nice. But that's going to feminize him or attract feminized men who are going to siphon your energy. Now, here's the nourished reality. A man who nourishes feminine energy offers direction. He says, I've got it, be ready at 7. That's it. He also makes decisions with your well-being in mind. And when he leads, you don't lose your voice. You actually gain your ability to rest. Now, sign number 3 is exposure versus protection. So this is like the nervous system check. We talk a lot about the nervous system on this channel. So sign number 3, a man who takes your energy exposes you to chaos. He brings you into his financial mess, asking you to pay his bills or cover him or whatever. He vents to you about his drama at work. He keeps you around his toxic family or friends without shielding you, and you always feel like you have to brace yourself because you don't know what's coming. That puts you in survival mode. The nourished reality is that a provider man, a healthy masculine man, and provision is money, and it's also tons of other things. I did a live stream on this because there's so much confusion about it, which you can check out. I will link it below as well. But a provider man protects your peace. He's a buffer between you and the stress of the world. He thinks ahead so you don't have to. When you are with him, your shoulders drop, your belly relaxes, you feel shielded, not tested. Now, here's the pattern interrupt. If you're listening to this and you're realizing, oh my God, I have normalized doing way too much in my relationship, then I have something for you. I mentioned it in the beginning of the video. I will mention it again because the reality is that you cannot attract a provider if you are stuck over functioning. So I have a free guide called the Enhance Your Divine Feminine Energy Guide, and it teaches you how to stop overgiving and how to start receiving. You can comment the word enhance below and I will drop the link for you. Or you can just click the link in the description and I'll send it to you for free. If you want to go deeper into this work, it is a must read. And like I said, it's totally free. Now let's get back into it with sign number 4. Number 4 is he's using you as a free therapist. So does he process all of his emotions through you? Does he treat you like his mother? This drains your sexual polarity instantly. So when you get into this dynamic in your relationship where you feel like the mom and he feels like the child, sex dies. It just does. So as I mentioned, it drains your sexual polarity, and you cannot desire a man that you are parenting. We are not biologically wired to be sexually attracted to people we are parenting. So the boundary is as follows. You can be supportive, but you cannot be his solution to everything. A man who nourishes you processes his heavy emotions with his mentors, his friends, or on his own so he can bring his stability to you. Now, it doesn't mean that he's not going to have a bad day. It doesn't mean that there aren't going to be challenges that you have to solve together. What it does mean is that he is not emotionally unloading on you. So let me give you an example. My husband recently noticed that maybe he was doing too much of the emotional stuff with me, and he said, you know what? F this, I'm going to go find mentors because that's who I should be talking to about this, not my wife. So a healthy man, that is what he is going to go do. An unhealthy man is just going to keep unloading, and they're not going to go find mentors and they're not going to go find therapists because you are the free therapist. And that's what he's using you for. Now, here's the truth that most women were never taught. Your femininity is not meant to carry. It's not meant to carry the load or the burdens. It's meant to respond. And the masculine that nourishes doesn't consume your feminine energy. It protects it, it provides for it, it leads with care, it cherishes the feminine energy. And when you regulate your nervous system and raise your standards, the men who only know how to take can no longer survive in your presence. You will not even attract them into your orbit. I promise you, they will not even see you, or they will fall away if you are dealing with those men right now and you have to let them fall away. So if this video opened your eyes, hit the like button. Watch the next videos that I have on this channel. I have lots of them. Also, make sure to check out the free resources below, as well as some of the master classes and programs that we have available. Our goal here is to help you all make sense of this using science, using biology, using nervous system regulation, sprinkled in with woo and spirituality, so that we can make the metaphysical very practical. Thank you so much for giving me your time today, and I'll catch you on the next one.